Frank, I got a feeling this is going to be a cool segment.
Well, you know, right now we're in the summertime. Hawaii temperatures can reach into 90 degrees.
90? Oh.
So people, they want to get cooled down, so they'll go to a home center such as City Mill to buy a window air conditioner.
Yeah, we just did that.
Right. So window air conditioners, you know, they come in various sizes. They usually start off with a 5,000 BTU.
Yeah.
And they can go up to all the way up to a 20,000.
What does BTU stand for?
Okay, BTU is a British thermal unit. And basically, that measures the amount of heat that's needed to raise a quart of water 1 degree. I know it's some kind of scientific number,
okay.
you know, which nobody really has to know. But the main thing is, what happens is people either buy an air conditioner that's too small for the room they're going to put it in, or too big.
Too big.
You know, and air conditioner.
What's the problem with too big? I mean, just more cold, huh?
Well, that's what I'm going to explain.
Okay.
See, window units are not meant to air condition a whole house. They're for an individual room, and you would close the doors while it's being used, or an office space.
Yeah.
Now, basically, to find out the size you need, you know, here in Hawaii, many of our homes are single wall construction, no insulation. Naturally, if you live in the mainland, you know, you got to have R14 fiberglass inside your walls.
In between the rooms?
You know, because of the weather. You got snow.
Okay.
Hawaii, our temperatures are pretty constant.
Yeah.
So because of that, they come out with a formula that most contractors use in Hawaii. And basically what you do is you take the number 50, okay? Just remember 50. And you times it by the square footage of your room. So let's say you had a room that was 10 feet by 10 feet. 10 times 10, 100.
Okay, thank you.
Times 50,
Yeah?
5,000.
5,000?
This
5,000 BTU.
This is a 5,000 BTU. So this could do a room of 10 by 10. So
Let's do that again. Square footage by 50
Times
equals
50.
BTU.
BTU.
Got
So
it.
simple. And of course, you know, they come in 5, 8, 10. But, you know, naturally, if you put a 20,000 unit in a room that only requires 5, you're wasting electricity.
But you
You're
can hang
overkilling.
meat.
That's true. But so
But
that's
you're wasting money. And
right. And
Okay.
the other things to remember is what they call the energy efficient ratio. Like for instance, this air conditioner has one of 9.7.
okay, now, but for the consumer, I come up, I see
Right.
9.7.
Right.
That's better than
That's better than an
8.2 or
Correct.
whatever. I don't need to know anything.
You want the
else.
biggest number.
biggest number.
You can get one that's over 10. You got an efficient.
So the energy efficient ratio, biggest number I can afford.
Correct.
Okay.
And then the other thing to remember about air conditioners is you want them to run efficiently. They all have a filter. You want to make sure those filters are cleaned weekly, because when they get all clogged.
Weekly?
Yeah, I would pull this out and clean it weekly.
You know, people have these air conditioners up high, they can't reach it. I bet you they go a year without.
Well, I mean, naturally, if it's a commercial establishment,
Yeah.
they're probably doing it monthly.
Yeah.
But in the home, very, very easily
In the home?
accessible. And of course, you know, ceiling fans.
Yes.
You know, here we're under some ceiling fans.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
If you put a ceiling fan in a room that has an air conditioner, it's
Uh-huh.
not going to work as hard. A ceiling fan can lower the temperature in a room by as much as 6 degrees.
Is that right?
Yeah, so if the room was at 80, just that alone will bring it down to 74. You could set your air
So
conditioner.
you're saying a ceiling fan in conjunction
Right.
with an air conditioner.
Correct.
And some people, should you buy it specifically to help your air conditioner?
Well, if you don't have one, I would.
Wow.
And ceiling fans are cheap. You know, they're under $100.
Yeah.
And the only other thing is, as you know, air conditioners do draw electricity, a lot of
Sure.
electricity. So they should be on a dedicated line. When you plug it in, you don't want it to be sharing a microwave oven, a toaster. You're going to overload the circuit. So you want it to be
In the wall by itself, or you're saying don't put it on a like what they call that, you know, that splitter thing?
Yeah, you don't want to put it on a multiple strip unit.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want it to be by itself on a dedicated line.
Okay.
So that's the basic things to remember. And of course, when installing it, make sure it's secured tightly in your window. Can you
And
imagine?
make sure that, and it produces water though, doesn't it?
Right. So when
So-
they're installed, they're at a slight angle so that the condensation,
So don't make the level, like, oh, perfect.
the
You want it.
condensation it goes outside of your home.
So you want the top higher than the back.
Correct.
Got it.
So with that,
You know what? I'm gonna take this home, and make sure you know everything you said is right.
Okay, you can pay at the cash register.
You know, on second thought. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.